without a shadow of a doubt that you're created on purpose for a purpose. Mindset and money revolution. You have to have a mindset revolution to experience a money revolution. That's when you experience a true wealth revolution.
My name is Chad Free. Welcome to the Wealth Revolution podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wealth Revolution podcast. Another episode. The second one in the new year, my man. And look here, talking about my man, I've got a great, awesome guest today. I got somebody that's got more energy than the Energizer Bunny with an 8-volt battery in it. I tell you what, I don't even know if that made sense. But this guy right here has got some energy, and he is an inspiration, and I am pumped up to talk to him on this podcast and have him on the podcast just to share his story. So, again, my name is Chad Free, and I am a wealth strategist. And I believe true wealth is an abundance of everything that you value. True wealth is built from the inside out. It's that moment in time where you stop being a human doing and you truly start living, and you're a human being. Because that's what we're created to be, is human beings. And being present and unlocking that potential that God gave you. And I'm just excited, man. This guy right here, he is a walking example of purpose-driven life. And I think that's kind of how our story started.
Pretty much, man.
So, Jada Sullivan, Mr. AKA
Mr. F3.
Tell us what that stands for.
Man, F3 stands for, you see it right here, focus, fight, finish. Focus, fight, finish.
100%. We're going to be diving into that a little bit more, why that's so important and why that's his message. And again, I'm just excited to have him on. So let's go ahead and open this deal up.
Let's do it, man.
And we raw and real on here.
For sure.
All right, we're raw and real. And we've known each other for a while, right?
Yeah. You know why?
You went to Hillcrest way back in the day. You played football with my brother.
With your brother Trey. Shout out to my boy T-Free.
Yep. And then fast forward, you actually am coaching now. You're coaching at Hillcrest High School, and I have a pleasure and it's a blessing that he's actually coaching my son, Jackson Free. So,
well, that's a blessing not just to you, man, but that's a blessing to me, man, just to be around that kid, man, and that energy that you talking about that I have.
Well,
he has it too. So it's a pleasure to be able to coach him too.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Now, let's be honest. Me and you both we kind of like the Clemson Tigers, right?
A little bit.
Yep.
A little bit.
And I mean, I went to school there, so I obviously have a little loyalty to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say anything bad about that school kind of in the middle of the state.
Yeah.
Because look, hey, I don't know, man. Jackson, here's the thing about Jackson. Jackson is not like, hey, I got to go to Clemson. I'm going to Clemson. I want to be the quarterback. You know what? It's inspiring because he's like, wherever God wants me to be,
I'm going to be.
And I don't know if a J Free would be a good fit down there at that school or not, but if it was, I mean, I hate to say it. And I'm gonna get some hatred or some hate on this, but I'd be the biggest Gamecock fan. I'd be like, go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do what I have to do, right?
Got to do what you got to do, Chad.
Got to do what you got to do. We're not gonna poo-poo that school down there, right? We're not gonna do it. But here's the deal. That's where it started with you and I.
Yeah.
That's where it started with us doing some stuff together. Me getting to know who Jada Sullivan is. And that's kind of where I want to open it up. It was last summer, right?
Last summer,
the boys were doing some 7-on-7 tournaments at different schools, and I tried to make as many of those as I could. And that's where we found ourselves in the middle of the summertime at the hottest place in the whole state, University of South Carolina.
Chicken coop.
Yeah, I didn't say it. I told you I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. So that's you. That's you. All
I
right.
did bet. Out there. Like I'm there.
So we're out there, and I really got to spend some some consistent time around you, and I watched you. People watch people.
Yeah.
People watch you. Somebody's always watching you. So that's point number one. I didn't even have that written down, but somebody's always watching.
For sure. For sure.
But Jada has so much energy and passion that that's not sustainable unless there's a mission behind the message or some kind of purpose. And of course, I talk about purpose all the time. And that's when I came up to you. I don't know if we're switching games or whatever. And I'm like, man, we need to get together. I want to know who Jada is.
As a matter of fact, sorry to cut you off. It was before the first game.
Oh,
You know, we walked up to the field. So yeah,
okay.
even before we even got started.
Look, we ain't even got started yet, right? But
Yeah.
his energy is so high level, and it's always giving off an impression of increase to anybody that he's around. It's inspiring for me. I'm just on the sideline watching how much he puts into whatever he does. And I wanted to know what in the world drives you. What is this? I want to know Jada. I know the football coach, but I want to know your story. And I think I said that. Didn't I say I want to know what's inside of you?
That's exactly what you said, man.
What would that make you feel like when I said that? Did you like, this cat's crazy? What's his name?
I really didn't say crazy, but I was like, it kind of started me. Not even started me, but I just kind of paused a little bit, man. But it was like, yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, I want to tell you about me.
That's
I want
right.
to tell you about me. So, yeah, man, it was one of them deals, man, where we was at a place for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason, and you're placed in different places for a reason, man. So that's what it was.
That's right. So we made it a point. I think we both were intentional
Yeah.
on getting together and breaking bread, man. That just getting some lunch.
Yep.
We went to Fountain Inn, went to Wing Nuts. Shout out Chris Cates.
Shout
You watching that? We love Wing Nuts. But just me and you. And I remember sitting at the table, and that's where it started. I'm like, man, hey, tell me, I want to know your story. And what I'm really interested in is, where the heck do you get all this energy? What drives you? And so, I mean, let's talk. Let's talk about childhood, because that's where most of our stories kind of start.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't realize it until we start connecting all the dots.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with you.
I feel like that's what happened. Just the energy, man. I think just growing up, I've just always had it. Just playing with older guys, playing with my father at the time, just coming up. They roughed me up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I just heard all the junk talking and just the competitive nature, and it was just embedded in me, just being around older guys, older teenagers playing ball and all that good stuff. So I've always been a kid too that was pretty quiet, man. I really didn't like the noise. I was shy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just always just wanted to be around positive people, man. So that's what really just drove me to be exactly who I am today. From when I can remember, that's all I can think about is just being positive, putting myself around the right people. Even when we was at school, I mean, think about it. You in elementary school, you're gonna have different groups of kids, y'all hanging out at recess.
Yep.
It's gonna be two of them kids is gonna be the bad kids or the bullies. Yeah, I stayed away from that, but I put myself around, kids who like to play friendly, all that stuff. So this from elementary school, Chad, man. I just been just that person, just a positive person, man. Just give that positive energy. And since I have it, that's the only way I can release it is if I'm on the playing field or coaching on the sidelines or stuff like that, man.
Yeah. Well, your tribe is super important.
Mm-hmm.
Who you do life with is super important. I talk about, just because they're in your circle doesn't mean you want them in your corner.
Facts.
Right? And so the fact that you recognize that at such an early age, I mean, that's important. That's huge, because when you do kind of start figuring out what you want to do and all that, you need that network of people that is encouraging you and holding you accountable, whether intentionally or non intentionally. And that's not going to sit there and say, man, you crazy, or man, that dream is stupid, or whatever. Because you know they out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Them dream snatchers, man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, starting off, you started telling me about your childhood, and then I don't know when it was. Maybe it was in middle school going into high school, or maybe it was already in high school. You had a little trouble reading with actual school. But football, you kind of felt like that balanced things out, right? Because of your athletic ability.
Yeah.
Tell us about that time and how you felt when you, what was going on in your mind? Were you discouraged when you comparing yourself to other students, or what does that look like?
Yes, I found myself doing that, man. It actually started in elementary school, man. I had this resource teacher, Miss Hill. Shout out to Miss Hill. I love her to death, man.
Miss Hill.
Miss Hill.
You a life changer. You're a world changer.
Yes, she is. But she was my resource teacher, man. And I go to her. She used to have some candy. I do what I have to do. And, she told me this one day, and this is something I never forget, Chad. She was like, Jada, you don't have to read as fast as other kids. It's okay that you read slower than other kids. It's okay to learn slower than others. Long if you learning, long if you trying. So she said it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
So prior to her telling you that, did you find yourself, were you starting to feel like a loser in a way, or I'm failing, I just can't keep up?
Yeah.
Was that a lot of pressure on you?
Yeah, it was. And it's crazy at a young age, because look, I got held back in the first grade. So I mean, that right there was a setback. Going to kindergarten with my friends in my neighborhood, going to first grade with my friends in my neighborhood. Then when it's time to go to second grade, I'm back in first grade, and my boys done dipped out on me. So it was hard. And then, just like I say, having trouble reading, having anxiety, man, just thinking about it now, I was like, man, I knew I had anxiety back then, because when one of my classmates was reading, man, I'm sitting there not even worried about what they reading about. I'm not even paying attention to them. I'm paying attention to the next paragraph, because I'm afraid that I'm going to get called on. You know what I mean? So I'm not learning. I'm not hearing what my classmates talking about. So it was almost like a lose-lose situation for me. You know what I'm saying?
You're kind of living in fear.
And living in fear without a doubt.
When it comes to schoolwork.
Yeah. So then basketball was my first love, right? And my dad put a basketball in my hand since I was a baby. So I used basketball just coming up playing in church leagues and just recreation. I was told I was pretty good. I was pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of used that as leverage, just trying to balance my mind out as far as, man, Jada, you're not loser, you're not slow, you're not retarded. I don't like to use that word.
Sure. Yeah.
So I use basketball and sports, man, to kind of balance that thing out. And it just seemed like, the older I got, the worse it became, because the older you got, middle school is a little different from elementary. Same for high school. You get called on a little more. And so, I never used to like to make eye contact with my teachers and little stuff like that, man. So I felt like, that kept me from learning, because I'm so caught up in hoping not to get called on to read.
Yep.
So it was one of them deals, man. But yeah, it was definitely tough, man. It was tough, but I did try to use football and basketball as a kind of a scapegoat.
So your confidence really showed up on the field or on the court, but completely empty and no confidence in the classroom.
Not one bit.
Right.
Not one bit.
Well, we talked about on our last podcast with my kids, we got 4 parts of our nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't realize this until later on, and we're trying to get our life right. And what is this life all about? A lot of us have that life 2.0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's at that time that you might know a lot about something,
Yeah.
but have no desire to even do it.
Yeah.
So you had the skills right here,
Mm-hmm.
and you had the knowledge there, but you didn't have the knowledge that you would have liked here because you were scared all the time. You know what I mean?
All the time.
I think the beautiful thing, I want to stop right there, is number one, you're not in a race with anybody. That's something that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing about comparison or whatever, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell the audience, I'll tell you, I'll tell anybody that listens to this, ain't nobody better than you. Nobody is better than you. They may be further along than you. They may be on chapter 10 and you might be on chapter 2. But I'll tell you right now, there's nobody that's better than you. It's your choice, though. Yeah. You have to make a decision and a choice and have the desire to be your best, because you are responsible for your race.
Right on.
You have your own lane. You're not running behind. You're right where you are right now is where you're supposed to be.
1,000%.
But you make a choice on how you want to finish that race. And the race is just being who you were created to be, and be your best self of who God created you to be.
I agree 1,000%.
That's awesome. So now we're in football.
Yeah.
And you a superstar. Come on, I can say it. I know you don't want to say it, but you're a superstar on the field at Hillcrest High School. And you play basketball too, right? At Hillcrest.
Basketball, ran a little track.
All right, I ran a little track. Got 3 triathletes. Is that what they call that? Okay. All right. So you did good, and now we're looking toward the future just a bit. So your ability is starting to open up doors for you. People are starting to recognize who's this guy.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us about that. I mean, didn't you have people like way up saying, keep going at it. You might be up here one day.
Yes, sir.
Even in the league, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell a little bit about that.
Far as like my boy Travell Warren, man, so far as football, coming out of high school, like Chad said, I was pretty good, man. Was blessed with the opportunity to go and receive a full athletic scholarship to Western Carolina University.
Full scholarship.
Save mama some money, but listen, I have to give a shout out to the legendary GOAT, Coach Emmanuel Sullivan. Coach Emmanuel Sullivan, thank you, man, because my mom never let me play football. Like, I actually went to a practice a couple of times, and she was like, Jada, why are you coming home so late? So I ended up telling her, Mom, I'm playing football. She said, no, took me off the team, missed the game. Coach Sullivan dropped me off at home and begged my mom to let me play.
Really?
She said, you better take care of my baby. And I mess with my mama to this day right now. I say, Mom, if it wasn't for Coach Sullivan, I wouldn't have probably, off the rip, I wouldn't have went to school. I would not have went to college. 100% if it wasn't for that. But
Coach Emmanuel Sullivan.
Man.
He is special to a lot of people. A lot of people. We even have he's so special and has made such an impact in our community that the new park, it's not new anymore, but the new park, it's the Emmanuel Sullivan complex.
Yep. Yeah. So
shout out to you. I hope you do watch it. We're going to make sure he watches.
You got to get it, sir.
All right.
Coach Will watch this.
Appreciate you. Love you.
Yeah, man. So that's what happened, man. I was able to go play football at Western Carolina University, where I faced some challenges there too. But if I could back up a little bit, going into my senior year, I could not pass the SAT. I couldn't qualify. I could tell you, I had a couple of schools, South Carolina, Clemson, a few other schools that was recruiting me pretty heavy. But I could not pass the test. I couldn't qualify for the test. So a lot of schools dropped me. And luckily, Western stayed with me. when I say that to say this, I had to see a school psychologist, man. That's another low point. When it's one of those things where it's your highest point.
Yep.
For like, I'm setting records at Hillcrest. I'm getting all these letters. I mean, that's the fun part of the process, man. But at the same time, I could not pass the test. So again, it goes back to elementary, where I was scared to read in front of the class, but I used basketball at the time as a leverage. So I had to see them just sitting in the room with this lady, no windows, anything, at a table like this, and she making a shape. Something a kindergarten could do, elementary kid could do. She mixed it up and made me do the same shape. Do you know how bad and do you know how low that made me feel, bro? Like, it was like, man, I'm not going to college. Like, there go that self-doubt again. The doubt came back. The doubt came back. See, it left for a few years, you know what I'm saying, coming up. But again, it went back to where it all started in elementary with that self-doubt.
So the door was wide open for you, right? For you to step into it.
Yeah.
But you had to have a ticket.
Had to.
And so you had to do the work. You had to do these requirements and to get the ticket to go. But you could see the door, you could walk in it, but you couldn't walk in it without the ticket.
Well,
and look,
outside looking in.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, the SAT, I don't know if I get in trouble. I'm going to call it out. Some people just can't take those kind of tests. Well, you know what? Me too. Because I'm going to share with you my SAT score. And I don't know if I should share it or not because I'm in the financial business. You know what I mean? But the reading is what got me. But look, man, I made like a 790 or a 810 was the highest. I had great grades, but that test. So anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that.
No,
understand that you're going to have obstacles.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's getting to where all this focus, fight, finish. You know what I mean? We'll circle back to that. But that was an obstacle. Yeah. So tell us, how did you overcome that and what took place to get you into Western Carolina?
So I seen this school psychologist for a while, and it worked in my benefit because I was allowed to have the SAT taken one-on-one with extended time. So I had a lady read the question one by one to me, and I just do the test. I was able to go to a few classes and things like that. So I finally got in. I passed the test. But again, I ran into another hiccup going into Western my freshman year at camp. I was pulled to a side and said I wasn't cleared by the clearinghouse yet because my SAT score jumped too high from the last time I took it to the time that I qualified. So there was another setback. It was just like setback after setback. I get in, I'm good. Another setback. So I redshirted, and I didn't understand it at the time. But, at the same time, it was one of those things. It's growth, man. It was growth. It was just another obstacle that I had to overcome. Just a more adversity, man. Right. So I've been facing adversity, man. It seemed like since I can remember, man, like elementary school. And I remember, like, just thinking about it now, I faced a lot of adversity. Right. Not even speaking on other things like what happened before school, so, split of my mom and dad and all this stuff. So yeah, man, I've been fighting it all my life. So and that's why these 3 words are so important to me, bro. Like that's what inspires me. Focus, fight, finish. Man, I've been in a fight all my life. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the only one. Everybody has their fight, but I've been doing this a long time.
I want to touch on that if you're okay with it. We talked about your school life and your social life and such, but your home life was a little bit challenging. Not necessarily your parents. I know they split, and you can share that, but just the environment that you were around, some of the things that you were exposed to, and the fact that you remained so bold, and I think you were blessed and protected
For sure.
from a lot of things here and now.
Right.
So tell us just a little bit about that before we start wrapping up to where you are right now. Tell us a little bit about that home life.
Yeah, so grew up in the country. You'll be surprised what kind of the traffic went through the country, man. I was around like drug dealers, drug users. Didn't have that man figure in my life. My father was on drugs at the time. My uncle was on drugs at the time. So it was just a lot, man. I can remember going to one of the trap houses by my house, the dope house, and I was just hanging out with my people.
How old were you this time?
This right here is 15, 16.
Okay.
15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
But they told me, it was like, man, it's time to leave, man. It's a lot of traffic started to come through. People that I seen, I said, I know why they here. So I give them praise because they kept me away from, they'll hang out with me for a certain amount of time. But when it's time, when it was they go time, I had to get about my business. So I feel like they shielded me, they protected me, because one of my cousins said, man, look, you're gonna be the ticket to get us out of here.
Wow.
He said, yeah, let's do what I do now. But you gonna fall into this, because you're gonna be our ticket. And I told them it didn't be their ticket. And
So they were in that lifestyle.
Yeah. Early. They was younger they were around my age and a little older.
But they recognized that was not a road to be on, and they didn't want you on that road. So
they seen my potential. I'm looking at it now. Like, they seen my potential.
Wow.
And little things like that, man, I sit back sometimes and think and reflect on it. And you never think about it when it's happening.
Oh yeah. Right.
But like years later, it's just like, man, it seems like since I've been 42 now, like, I think differently, man. I reflect a lot, and it's cool that we talking about this now, because I'm just sitting here picturing this whole ordeal right now as we talking about it. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for my guys, for my dogs, man, for keeping me away from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're blessed. You're blessed that they took that approach. You know what I mean? To realizing that this is not good.
Yeah.
And so, man, that's something else.
Wow, man. So that's that, man.
So you was grinding through that. You're focused. You know what I mean? And being protected from all of that. You made it through.
Mm-hmm.
That's your home life. And then tell us about what happened once you did start playing football. You were cleared and all that at Western Carolina.
Okay, so I was cleared. I redshirted my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
They fired our whole coaching staff that season. So coming into my sophomore year, on my redshirt freshman year, we had a whole new coaching staff. Shout out to my guy, Coach Matt Rule, my guy, Coach Jeff Collins, and my main man, our head coach, who gave me the opportunity, Kent Bridge, man. Shout out to them. So they all came in. I played for 3 years. Going into my senior year, last practice of the spring practice, I had a career-ending injury. My left side of my shoulder was paralyzed for like 4 or 5 months. So pretty much I had to forbid my senior year, due to the fact that I want to think about long term. I want kids. I want to play with my kids. I want to think short term, get hurt, be paralyzed for the neck down forever. Yep. So the crazy thing about that, Chad, and it's like, I left school, bro, 1 semester away from getting my 4-year degree.
You were that close.
5 classes away, man.
Oh, wow.
5 classes away. I left school that summer. I never went back. I started just the real world, and this whole injury, messed me up mentally. I was depressed. It was crazy, man. I thought I had a shot to play on the next level, whatever level that may be. I knew I had more in me, and God said, "Nah, son, I have another role for you, man."
Well, let's be raw and real on that, okay? Because like you said, it's not until we get older that we start connecting dots, right?
Yep.
That your talent and that skill, literally, it opened up a lot of doors for you.
Yeah.
Playing college football, getting all this attention.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you, did you start, and forgive me, man, if I'm getting out of bounds, did you start finding your identity in football? I mean, because that was, it had opened up doors for you.
I did. And it was back to, like my cousin said, man, you're going to be our ticket out. So I feel like I need to give it all I have.
Yeah.
Because it's not just my cousin, it's my mama, it's my daddy, it's my sisters.
Right.
We came up in a 900 square foot house. And it's like 10 people living in that joint, man. Like, it's people everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That was my identity. That was it. It was football. And then I get a call, and it's like, man, I really have a shot, man. And just like that, it was taken away. Wow. So I feel like, yeah, football was my identity. And I think that's what put me in that hole, that dark space, man. Because I was so close, bro.
Right.
Just having the opportunity. Not saying I would have made it.
Yeah.
I just wanted that opportunity, man. I seen it, man. Like, I could feel it.
Yeah.
Coming off the best season I had my coach say, wrote me a letter saying, with your leadership, we could be the best defense in the nation. I'm gonna send you a screen. I'm gonna take a picture.
Wow.
With his hand. So, like, yes, it was my identity, man.
Wow. Well, now it's time to hit the fast forward button just a little bit.
Fast forward it.
Let's fast forward it. And let's talk about, now you're coaching.
Mm-hmm.
You got your own business, Jada Sullivan Moving.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, look, when somebody says, I need experienced movers, I hope you see I'm putting your name out there, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to do that too. We're going to do that too right now. If you ever need movers, this is your guy right here. And you've moved a lot of, you've moved some important people around. You know what I mean?
Quite a few.
Yeah, you have. I've seen some pictures of some of them.
Yeah, quite a few.
Anyway, so now you're coaching football at Hillcrest.
Yep.
You have your own business.
Mm-hmm.
And then that takes us back to the Carolina. I saw purpose inside of you.
Yeah. Okay.
So now, let me just tell you something. Our life is not about us.
I agree.
It's about God. When we stop trying to be the main character in our own life and make him the main character, that's when true alignment happens and your assignment becomes very clear. Because let me tell you something. I wrote some notes down. Miss Hill. Now, I might get emotional, but you know what? Miss Hill made a difference in your life.
Big time.
I can only imagine the pressure that was taken off of this little kid at one time saying it's okay.
Uh-huh.
It's okay not to read so fast. It's okay not to learn as fast as them, as long as you're making progress.
Yeah.
And I don't know who we're talking to today, but everybody has they're facing their own struggle. Mm-hmm. And you hear me say every number has a name, every name has a story, and every story matters to God.
Yep. And
then you got Coach Sullivan. Being an advocate for you.
Major.
Now,
major.
These are people that didn't cost them anything.
At all.
And it wasn't all about them. It was about seeing something special in somebody else. Mm-hmm. And really going to bat with your mom.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Now your mom realizes it. That she's probably thankful for that. Now you've got the passion. You had to go through all this to fall in love with football to be able to coach football.
Yep. Talking.
You had to go through setbacks.
Plenty.
You had to go through all these setbacks. And now you carried the weight on your shoulders, is what I heard, for all your cousins, your family, and you're using your ability and your skill to be that ticket for them out.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So all of this story matters. All of your story matters. And it all happened for a reason, to prepare you for who you are right now. Because now he's not an Emmanuel Sullivan, but he's Jada Sullivan.
Correct.
He's got his own passion. He's got his own calling. And guess how he did it? He had to learn how to focus.
You know it.
Guess what else? He had to learn how to fight. And then I want you to tell him, all right? Because we didn't cover. I forgot we didn't cover this. You was 5 classes short.
Yeah. 5 classes short
From getting his bachelor degree at Western Carolina.
Yep.
What happened about 2 or 3 months ago? Can you tell him? Tell him. Tell him. Tell him. Tell him.
Can I tell him?
Come on. Tell him.
Okay. So, hey,
Tell him.
last year, my wife said, Jada, you need to finish school. I said, okay, you have 1 semester. I said, okay, cool. I faced my fears of doing an online class, and I registered back in school. Just last month, December 14th, after 19 years, I walked across that stage to receive my 4-year degree. And I'm telling you, man, I always say, man, never give up, man. Never give up. The sky is the limit, man. It took me 19 years to get a 4-year degree. But I'm going to tell you now, that was one of the best feelings I ever had in my life. Never give up.
Because you finished.
Because I focused, I fought my tail off, and I finished the deal, man. I finished the deal.
That is so inspiring, and that's why I was anxious to have you on. That's why I wanted to know who Jada Sullivan was. I wanted to know who he was inside. I wanted to know. I knew that there was a purpose. I knew that there was a mission. I knew that there was a calling. I knew that there was a story that fueled your energy, because manufactured energy is not sustainable. Not like what you got. And you operate from purpose.
Without a doubt.
Because you're created on purpose, for purpose, and you know that. And you have a calling to tell your story, just like you just did.
Yeah. Because
our past can help somebody else's future that's going through the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
See, man, I this has been fun.
Yeah, it's been, man.
It's been serious.
Yeah.
It's been encouraging and inspiring. And I appreciate you being on. You want to give any shout out? What's the last thing that you would want to tell our audience? Just let, man, be you. What would you like to tell them?
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, bro. Thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. Thank you for approaching me that hot summer morning in July. Because, bro, you've taken my mindset and you've taken it to another level, man. You've put me in rooms with people I never thought I'd be in the rooms with. If I'm not mistaken, was it the Roger Clemens? Who?
Yeah. Roger Clemens and Tim Story.
Tim Story. Yeah. So I mean, just the opportunities that you've given me that are opening those doors for me.
Yep.
Bro, I appreciate you. I thank you for being a brother to me, man. And I just had to give you your flowers, my guy. I had to give my guys flowers. They say, man, nah, I'm giving flowers when they here. I'm not waiting till there ain't no cash to get no flowers. So I made sure I take every opportunity I can to give somebody their flowers, for not just that, for investing in me, man. Like, you really investing in me by putting me in those positions. So thank you for that.
I appreciate you, man. I really do. Thank you for pouring into those kids. And, little sneak peek. I think we might have a little next generation revolution coming along.
Okay, yeah.
In the making.
That's what I hear.
Just to teach that next generation how to focus, fight, finish.
Yeah.
And truly have a mindset and money revolution, and that's what it's all about, dude.
That's it, man.
So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Share it. Click on the button. Like it. Like our channel. Share it. Get this message out there because I think somebody needs to hear it. And if you want to reach out to Jada, his social handles, social media handles will be available as well. And I mean, shoot, man, we might even. So people might be asking about where they can get some of this apparel.
Yes, sir.
Could you hook them up?
I would definitely be able to hook them up, man.
All right, good deal.
Hope y'all have an L3 type of day.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. God bless you.